as bad, but we get into the different levels of certification now. This is where you guys are. The blue patch is the EMT. This other one, this intermediate, doesn't really exist anymore. What they did, they replaced it with an AEMT. What this means is they can start IVs and do intubations. And that's for another day to get into. But so this one does all the BLS stuff, basic life support, intubation. The paramedic does all the advanced life support procedures, intubation, cardiac meds. The ambulance, I was responsible for about 60 medications. You guys at an EMT level are going to be responsible. That's what I am. I'm a licensed paramedic, and that just means the difference. About 60 hours of college. I'm actually there's different levels of certifications, different levels of scope of practice. Familiar with what that paramedic can do as well. And then or the EMR is a certification like someone would take. It used to be called ECA, that responds to medical emergencies in a factory setting or something like that. This is for it. So, pre-hospital care, out of the hospital medicine, which is really the best part because it people around to help you. You have to make decisions. You don't have a doctor present. You have one, and some people like that. Some people don't. It's your responsibility to know where to transport the patient to. Right? So you would, because that would be an inappropriate place for them to go. Where do they need to go? There's one in Plano. There's one in different areas, but Parkland, right? Methodist, right? If you're over in Plano, later, so you need to know where all these. There's now one in Plano, but it's a stroke center, so it would be okay to take a stroke patient there. Hyperbarics. You take them in. So they're going to. When you go like in Parkland, this would be. Most of them are residents, and I mean there's a lot of people out your report because everybody wants a little piece of information on what you're right out. So you get to see this. You get a major trauma. I mean. Center and see hospital, the other hospitals, even Dallas Regional, if they said you're bringing then this is what you would see. They'd be all gowning up and we've had gunshot wound, head, GSW. Or, Mesquite, this particular one, stabilize the patient. We're doing In each one, we sort of touch on maybe. You're responsible for that. Okay? If you're driving. Yeah, it's yours. You didn't do that. Ask Dallas Fire Department. Right? And you did produce a death. You probably lose your. So, you're driving the ambulance. That car, because they didn't. Right, they're supposed to yield the right of way to emergency vehicle, but they didn't stop. So you hit them because you just ran right on through the light because you had the right. Manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter, because you're supposed to stop at every intersection and clear the intersection before you drive through. You just can't. You hit somebody and you're going to the big house. Somebody's going to be your boy. They run a red light, they hit a car, they kill somebody in the car, and your job was to stop and clear. An alert that you want to go through, right? So you should see at an intersection, you should see an ambulance almost come to a complete stop, and the driver's looking to the driver's clearing the left, and the person in the passenger seat left and go through the intersection, because. So the patient's just my safety, my partner. That scene is safe. An unsafe scene, then who's going to take care of that? To our families either. Or whatever else. It's a back injury. To move and transfer. You transfer and we have a whole class on. So the next time. And you're going to court over something. I've been subpoenaed a few times to go to court. Read that in the law. In that report, then they have a better chance at winning the case. You know, before computers, we had paper. Common misspelled medical words. Spell check. Woo-hoo. Where people can understand it. What's best for right? You have to take charge of the scene. You have to be in charge of what you're doing and be confident in that. You focus and discipline, right? So you have to be confident. You have to maintain medical and legal standards, because this is the way that you're going to lose your certification. And you don't work or illegal and lose it. And then there's always continuing education. In any medical field, there's going to be continuing education. You'll be a nurse, you have to have so many continuing education hours, right? You'll be a doctor, you still have to have so many continuing education hours. So there's always responsibilities. And you're there, bring back up to here, you're there to resolve the incident, okay? The emergency incident. So you have a patient that is having an emergency of some sort, you're there to resolve that. So you have to take control. You, most EMS personnel, 99% of them, have a very dominating, controlling personality. And it's because what they are ingrained in that. They're taught that. That's the only way they survive EMS. Because we have a room full of people. We have Steve over here. He's sick, and Buzz is just panicking because she's so upset that Steve is sick, and then Wolf doesn't really care, and he's all mad that Steve's taking up room here, and he's throwing a fit too, right? And you have a lot of disgruntlement in the room, a lot of excitement in the room. As an EMT, you go in there and you take care of that. You resolve that, okay, so you can take care of your patient. I've kicked people out of their own house before. You know, they say, you can't do that, this is my house. I said, well, for the next 5 minutes, it's my house, so get out. You know, if you don't leave, then that police officer on that side is going to take you out because you're interfering with an emergency, and that's a felony. So you tell them that, and you look at that. An unsafe scene, don't do it. We'll speak of that a little bit more. Situational awareness. And we talked about this last year, I believe. I can say you don't have good situational awareness, and that's a general term. Some of you do, some of you don't. Really close to you, like this, you should know that, right? You should know that someone's that close. This is developing. You should know when sort of, what do y'all call it, a boat? Because you put out these on a murder scene, right? You want them to be aware. It is a process where you develop that. If you lived in the hood, then you would probably because more people get shot in Chicago. Get shot in one day there last weekend, okay? And then regulations, you get out of the ambulance on a car wreck, they require that you wear reflective